Are you an experienced recruiter? Are you ready to find your next amazing job? Check out this video right now for some questions you need to be prepared for. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you haven't seen this channel before, it's all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter. So last week, assuming you check out my videos, every Thursday at noon, of course. Last week, I went over how to pass a recruiting interview, and it was definitely more basic, meaning like if you haven't been a recruiter before, if you're just kind of going up a little bit, maybe you're a coordinator and now you want to be a sourcer, or maybe you're a sourcer and now you want to go into recruiting. There's definitely some good questions and answers that I went over for sure in order to pass an interview. But this particular video is going to go over if you're already a recruiter and you really want to catapult your career and you want to get that amazing recruiting job, then you need to know these answers and be prepared. So, who knows what a KPI is? Hopefully your company uses them. That is a key performance indicator, and that is something that you basically need to know your numbers. You need to know exactly what your company expects of you performance-wise, based on how many people you place, how many people you reach out to, how much money you bring into the company. Like there's all different ways and different things that companies really go off of their KPIs. And this is really like not only to keep your job, but how to thrive at your job. In my opinion, that this is just the minimums, right? So someone's gonna ask you, do you have KPIs? Now, if you didn't watch this video, let's just pretend someone asked you a question, you don't know what it is. Don't be afraid to just say, I'm sorry, what does that mean? I don't know if I've heard that term before. Don't get rattled, because remember, there's all sorts of acronyms and all sorts of different ways people say things that can kind of mean the same thing, right? So KPIs, do you hit your KPIs? How often do you hit them? Some companies, I would assume, go quarterly, some go monthly, some even go yearly. So like, who knows? Like I said, it all really depends. Companies are all different. So you also need to have the answer for how many hires do you average a month, a quarter, a year? Some people, like myself, would then ask you, how many months do you go without? I kind of want to know if a recruiter has fat cat syndrome. If you've watched my videos before, hopefully you have, then you know what that means. Basically, that's someone that will make 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 deals a month and then have nothing for 2 to 3 months, and then make 2 to 3 more deals. So then therefore they're really only averaging, their averages is just okay, as opposed to like stellar and amazing. So definitely be prepared for that. And even more so for someone to really catch you off guard, they're gonna say, who was the last person you placed? Ooh, that's gonna rattle you. Even if you ask me like, hey, who's the last person you placed? I'd be like, be prepared for that. You don't have to give out your client list. That's not what they're looking for. They just want to see, can you think on your toes? You could even say, oh, well, I don't want to give them the name, but this person came from XYZ. They had this background. So you definitely have to be prepared for, hey, if you're gonna, walk the walk, gotta talk the talk. So definitely know the answers to that. Even like, hey, when's the last time you made a placement? That's a solid question, right? Okay, great. So you also need to know the answer to, where do you get your people? Where do you get your candidates? And if you do full desk, where do you get your clients? Where do you source from? Obviously, as most people do, they use LinkedIn, but LinkedIn isn't a good enough answer. Like if someone said, oh, LinkedIn, I'd be like, yeah, duh. Like how? Like really where? Like, is it like LinkedIn Recruiter? Is it Sales Navigator? Is it through your personal LinkedIn? Like what really are your techniques, your tactics? Remember, when you are interviewing for any job, really, I think this could help. You don't just answer the question just like, with a couple of words, right? Have a full out thought, and it's okay to tangent a little bit. I say that because I tangent a lot, but no, seriously, you have to have substance and context and just really like be conversational. That's also what a recruiter is. You're able to kind of go with nothing to something. And so that's super important. Another question that we like to ask is, how do you work with coordinators, recruiters, managers, your direct reports? If you work with clients, what's the process for that? How closely do you work with them? So, those are nitty-gritty things. Really, people just want to know, are you going to be a good coworker? And then also, not only that, but what is your experience level? Because if you're not collaborating on all sorts of different departments, let me give you an example. Like, let's say you work at Robert Half, which is this like ginormous recruiting company that I would imagine, but I don't know for sure, I would imagine has just giant departments. So you just might be this little person and you don't really get to collaborate with a lot of people. So, but here at Techies, we're much smaller, and so we collaborate all the time. Lots of people there's tons of different moving parts. And so, as a smaller company, I need to make sure that you can still hack it in somewhere that's more like fast pace. Super important. A huge question for me is, especially if you're full desk, is do you prefer to work with candidates or clients? Now remember, you're not just gonna say candidates, you're gonna say, oh, actually, I enjoy both, hopefully, but I like candidates because I like clients because, as I'm pretty honest, I love working with candidates. I just think there's just a lot of moving parts and things move fast, where clients are great too. There's a different strategic way to go about them, but they're not always going like this, so it's kind of fun, but that's just me. Another thing that I think is great for you guys to know the answer to is, some people think this is negative, but hey, when was a moment that your hiring manager came to you and gave you a different way to source because the way you were doing it wasn't working? Or any time that your hiring manager or your direct report came to you and said, hey, this is wrong, do it this way, or hey, I think you could do it better this way. This is a very honest, uncomfortable thing to answer, because in theory, you're throwing yourself under the bus. And I don't always want to hear these rosy answers and just be like, oh, whenever my manager tells me to do something, I just do it. That's not, again, what we're looking for. We're looking for real human interaction, a moment to say, hey, you know what, I actually thought I was doing the search really well, and my manager didn't think so. So I explained my way again, and then tried it my manager's way, and then showed 2 different outcomes. And I just kept track of, what I did right for 2 weeks, and whatever. It's like, you have to be open to collaborating. You have to be open to different ways, especially in recruiting. I mean, I hope that you're collaborative anyways, but in recruiting, if you are not open to different ways, you are just, turn this video off right now because it's not for you. I can definitely stand here and tell you that there's tons of different ways to recruit, and that's why I really enjoy not only you guys' comments below, the questions, and then also talking to other recruiters is just super fun, because it's like, wait, I want to know how you do that. So it's cool. Actually, I had a shout out to one of the Millionaire recruiter students who I spoke to this morning, David, who was awesome. It was really fun to hear what he's already doing, and he's accomplishing things already. And he told me about a tool that I had never even heard of before. And so it was really cool to just hurry up and quickly go on, a website and just look it up, because again, not only with technology, but with recruiting, we have to stay on top of things. We have to go with whatever tools work, and you have to just be open to it. So that is, again, why we ask these really open-ended questions and being very direct. Well, that was funny, open-ended, direct question. But that's true, because really it's open-ended because you can go to tons of different ways. But also it's very I need an answer to this. And then on the other side of the coin, if you, as the person doing the interview, if you give a vague answer really on anything, then we're just gonna think, 1, you don't care that much, or 2, you're just lying. Or maybe you just can't bullshit. I mean, I don't know, there's a few different tangents that you can go on. But if you are great as a recruiter and you really want to step it up by joining an agency, or, even an internal team that does really well, that pays really well, that has those good clients, those good connections, you have to be able to prove to that company that you know what you're doing. And if not, you can work it and you were prepared because you researched what questions you need to have prepared for this. There's tons of different things, tons of different tangents you can Google as well, or what are like the top 20 interview questions that really mess with people or that really make you think, or stuff like that. You can definitely do that because companies do grab things like that. These are just some basic things that you need to know the answers to. So definitely go over that list again, rewatch the video, and I hope that while you were watching this, you had already in mind those answers to these questions. So have fun with that, especially coming into the new year and seeing like how powerful recruiters have been and how necessary we have been, not only blocking the noise, but also trying to fill so many other positions that have come up, especially in tech, and then helping people who are out of jobs. So there's just like a lot of moving parts. So I definitely hope that you as recruiters are trying to up your game or get into the industry the right way. So definitely, check out me every Thursday at noon. I'm loving to pay it forward. Love when you guys reach out on LinkedIn and ask me other questions and inspire these videos, because that's the cool part. So enjoy. I will see you next week and every Thursday at noon. And do not forget that money is just a vessel that gets you to do all the amazing things you want to do. So go live your life. Happy holidays.